Yeah.
Are we saying spoilers on this one?
Might as well. It's been out 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to say spoiler alert.
All right. Welcome to this episode of Inglorious Essence.
This episode.
Yes.
Welcome to it.
Welcome to it. Let's do it. All right. So this episode, we're going to talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But before we do that, what did you watch this week, Eric?
What did I watch this week? I watched the new Pikachu Detective.
Like a Pikachu.
Pokemon Detective. Overall, for what it was
Not that good.
decent. I'll say it's decent. The Pokemon looked good. The CGI was good. The plot was actually pretty good. But as far as like Pokemon goes, like it's coming off of like it's a Pokemon story, not that good. I wanted Pokemon training. I wanted catching Pokemon. I wanted Pokemon battles.
It's already happened 1,000 times.
No, it hasn't. It was a TV show and not a live action. It was a movie. The cartoon movie was great.
Yes.
Why can't we do that? Instead, it's like a progressive movie where the Pokemon are like humans. No, it was not made that way, okay? Not where I come from. These Pokemon battle. Not to the death, just until one gets hurt, and then they go back in the Pokeball, and they heal up, and then they're fine.
Yikes.
Why can't they do that?
Yikes, dude.
That's the
Angry.
live action
Angry,
movie
huh?
I want right there. Okay?
All right. Besides that movie that triggered you, what else did you watch?
We watched the Curse of La Llorona.
Sounds terrible.
It actually wasn't bad. And apparently it's a part of the Conjuring universe. Didn't realize that at the time.
Oh, so now we have like Marvel Universe. Now horror movies are like having their own universe.
Yeah, and I like them. Most of them.
I guess they have a Freddy vs. Jason, so it's kind of like
No,
within
those are
the
terrible.
realm of horror movies.
Basically, it's a movie about a demon ghost that tries to come after your children. She wants to take your kids.
So hide your kids.
And eat them?
No, she wants to murder them.
For what
And then
purpose?
take their souls.
Oh, that's weird.
It's deeper than that. But overall, for a probably semi-low budget movie, it was pretty freaky. Wasn't the scariest movie, but it was pretty freaky, and the story was pretty solid. And
Was it Freaky Friday scary or like just freaky scary?
it was just more like, it was like Freaky Thursday.
All right.
It's like Freaky Thursdays. No, you know what I'm talking about.
All right. And before we get into it, anything else?
Why don't you scoot this way? Get in the frame a little bit
I don't want
more.
to sit by you. You smell bad.
Too bad. Go over here.
No, you smell bad.
Actually, you're the one who smells
I just
bad.
sat by you by the theater. Now I smell pretty good. Thanks. I smell fresh. You're weird.
We literally just got back from the movie theater. We went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it's about to get real. We're going to break it down. We have a special guest,
We're phoning him in now. Let's phone him in.
Mr. Andrew Simon. Let's get him on the phone here.
Andrew Simon.
Andrew Simon.
Andrew Simon.
Andrew Simon.
Simon says.
Simon.
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 Simon?
He's not going to answer
Hey,
our
this
call.
is Rick Dalton.
Oh,
nice.
Ricky D on the phone. What's going on, Simon?
What's up?
All right, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the newest Tarantino flick starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, also Margot Robbie in the film.
I wouldn't say it really starred Margot Robbie, but she was in there in
Yeah,
places.
she was in there.
Yeah.
Before we get to Brian, because we know he's going to gripe his ass off, what were your thoughts, Simon?
I liked it. It wasn't my favorite, but I'd probably put it in the top half of Tarantino movies.
Okay.
fair.
What's ahead of it, in your opinion?
Pulp Fiction for sure. Probably put Inglourious Bastards in front of it still.
Hateful
I
Eight.
might put it third though.
Oh, okay, that's bold. That
Over
is
Hateful
bold.
Eight.
It's up there. Yeah, I like that one too. I've only seen that one like once though.
And what about
Yeah, that's a good
Django?
one, too. It's probably, yeah, those three are probably all about even. And then I
Alright.
have Kill Bill like a level below that.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kill Bill is also good.
All right.
It was good, but not my top.
Definitely in the bottom for me.
So your initial take, you
What do you
liked
think
it.
of it, Eric?
Me personally, It's tough to say. Like, overall, it was an enjoyable movie, but I felt like it fell flat as far as a Tarantino movie.
It didn't really feel like a Tarantino movie until, like I told Simon, the ending.
Yeah, it was pretty different.
It
In the
was.
beginning.
I-
The ending definitely. I think the ending made up for it. I just wanted it to keep going after that. Like I could have watched another hour after the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they would have focused more like when Brad Pitt went to the farm and there was like more like horror aspect to that, I felt like that would have been better to focus on than all the other random crap they did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could have been better in some ways, but yeah, I still liked it, but
Yeah. For me, I felt
it was
like
different.
yeah, I felt like you were waiting so long for the plot to kick in. Cuz it's like okay, we have our main characters, we got that, and then we have this we keep showing Margot Robbie, but we're not really showing her like
Like, what's the point of her being?
yeah,
in
yeah,
it?
why is she in this movie?
Well, I think it's because like the big twist was like she's the one that got murdered in real life, and so
Yeah.
in the movie they changed it. So I guess that's why she's in it, just to make you think that she's going to get killed later. But I don't know. Yeah,
I could see that. It's kind of like building up to like, oh, she's going to die.
just to
type
tie
of
it
thing.
into the
Yeah, and
the
that's a
neighbor
disclaimer.
storyline, I guess. But
That's a disclaimer is if you're going to see this movie, catch up with the Sharon Tate murders because I didn't know much about it. So I was a little lost until I read about it afterwards. But yeah, I guess they all died that night. So that was kind of like the twist, like Inglourious Bastards as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But yeah, I just felt like it was a little flat throughout like most of the movie, and you were kind of waiting for something to happen. Like you had the whole side part with Brad Pitt, and then you're also following, Rick Dalton, Leo's character, and then you have Margot Robbie, which you don't know where she's going to play in. Obviously, she's Sharon Tate, but I just felt like they didn't know what direction to go, or he didn't.
I felt like it was basically Tarantino's love letter to like that era of Hollywood.
yeah.
Like, remember how many he was like, oh, Rick Dalton was in this, and then it was like Tarantino-esque directed film from the 50s of Rick Dalton in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he liked just wanting to do that the whole movie. Not the whole movie, but a lot of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't like it.
did you like the last 30 minutes at least?
Yeah, I did like the ending. I felt like they could have, like I said, focused more on the Charles Manson part and less on the other stuff.
I do wish that they had more of him in it because he was only in it for like 30 seconds. Really.
Yeah,
And that's what I was waiting to happen. Like I was waiting for
Yeah,
that.
at the ranch.
Yeah, like I was waiting for that to play in a little bit more. And like I was telling Brian, I was like, they could have went a couple other ways too. It's like this could have also been about Leo's character, Rick Dalton, like hitting rock bottom and then coming back and finally getting a big break at the end of his career.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mind the first little bit of it because, I guess not a little bit, like the first 2 hours of it.
Yeah.
Because I like that character so much. It was still fun to watch that.
Yeah,
was.
I liked watching his story as far as like the character, his character's acting career. And that's like I was telling Brian also, there's parts in it that are good and funny and were classic Tarantino, but they didn't all merge well, I felt like.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it was like a glimpse into the Hollywood life, and I liked that. But then sometimes it got a little old. It was like, okay, we get it. Like, when is the story going to start?
Mm-hmm.
And I did feel like Margot Robbie's her whole being in the movie was kind of like pointless and kind of wasted. Like, remember when she went to the theater? Do you guys remember that? And like she like saw herself in the movie. It's like after the first 30 seconds of that, I was like, okay, I get it. And then they showed like 5 more minutes of it, and it was just kind of like,
I thought like Charles Manson was going to be sitting behind her in the theater.
or yeah, something like that.
Like I thought he was going to be following her, and that was going to kind of.
But it was just her admiring herself for like 5
Yeah, I
minutes.
almost wonder if they just did that as like a tribute to the real Sharon Tate.
Well, Eric
Yeah.
thinks
original movie footage.
Eric thinks Tarantino had a crush on Sharon Tate when he was younger.
He might have.
and he's
Yeah.
paying like homage to her, which I get, and like it was a cool take on that, the whole Manson story of that. But it was like
Yeah, that scene was a little long.
you watch 2
Yeah.
hours of the
Like her
movie.
buying the book and all that. Like I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, dude, we don't have to see every second of her day. Just show us the important part. You
Well,
know?
most of his movies are like that. He likes to draw out scenes and.
But
draw
usually
out
they have a
stuff.
point. Like these scenes didn't even have a point. I guess to
I
show
know,
that she was
and-
happy. I
And
don't
like
know.
I was saying, I kept looking at the cars in the background. I'm like, okay, there's Charles Manson. He's like spying on her, and then it was just like nothing. I was like, oh,
Right.
never mind.
Well, and like, what was the point of the 6 months later thing? They could have not done the 6 months later, and that thing could have happened like the next week.
I think it was kind of like how all of his movies tie into stuff later down the road. I think it was his way of being like, all this stuff happened 6 months ago. Oh, look, Cliff, Brad Pitt's
now
character.
It's August.
Yeah.
'Cause they show, like, when they land, they made it like it was like the day of the murder.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
was coming
true.
that day.
That's true.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have just started the movie in like a week before the murder or something like that.
Exactly. And Rick Dalton wasn't even a real character. I thought he was a real actor back then, but he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
So I don't know. Maybe he just based that off of like a lot of actors around that time.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure it was like 2 or 3. I think he was partially based off of Burt Reynolds, because Burt Reynolds was supposed to be the old guy in the house on the ranch, but he died like right before.
Oh,
Like, they had cast for it and everything, but he
Oh.
died before shooting of it.
George, who Bruce Dern played.
So that guy was a real guy. That really happened.
I think so.
Oh.
He obviously
I don't
owned
know.
the property.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. See,
Or
that's
something similar to it.
yeah. I don't know the whole story with the Charles Manson thing, and I was hoping to find out more because like I didn't know. I know that they lived there and he got everyone to kill themselves basically, but that's all I know. I didn't know there was a guy that like owned it and was cool with the girls living there. Which that part was pretty scary. Yeah, that part was freaky.
Yeah, a little bit.
And
I guess that song they were singing when they were like digging through the trash and stuff was like a real song that he wrote and that like all of us sing.
Oh,
Wow,
shit.
that's scary.
Yeah, I thought more was gonna happen with that, like when he was up there, but it was like, oh, he just left.
Yeah, I do wish a lot more happened with him.
Simon, what were your best parts of the movie, worst parts of the movie? Go.
I liked the fight at the end. I was cracking up the whole time.
Yeah.
There were
that
some
was
old
funny.
people that were kind of shocked in the theater, but me and a couple other like younger people were laughing our asses off. But that was good. Just some of the little things, like how he makes like little like his cigarette brand and stuff like that. I thought the dog food was funny. I can't remember what the name of it was, but
Oh yeah.
Like Mean Dogs or
about like
something.
wolf's tooth or something like that.
Yeah, it was like
Mean
raccoon
Dogs,
and-
like the flavors like rat and
Yeah. Rat and
all the weird
raccoon.
stuff. I thought that made me laugh a little bit, but the stuff with that little girl, like Rick and the little girl, I was just cracking up that whole time too.
Oh yeah, that was a good part. Most of that part with Rick when he was on set for that show was pretty good.
When
I
he like
that.
was yelling at himself, that was hilarious. Worst scenes. What's the worst scenes?
I definitely, probably the biggest thing was I wish there was more Manson in it, because I was expecting that to be like the big
Right.
like villain in it, but he was just only in it for like a minute.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Hollywood dealing with the Manson murders. Like I thought that's how the movie was going to go. But like the title, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's basically a farce. It's like happily ever after, kind of how Brian put it. Like how they ended the movie with her still alive instead of dying because they went to the Rick Dalton's house.
Because it should have been those 4 guys.
Yeah. It
or
should have
4
been them,
people
but
instead.
because Rick Dalton intervened, like he intervened on her death, which is good. Don't get me wrong. Like that writing is great. Like I think
that's how
awesome.
Tarantino wanted it to happen. I think he really was in love with Sharon Tate or admired her.
But the fact that we watched 2.5 hours and you don't feel like that's what's gonna happen.
And then it just kind of ended. Like I wasn't expecting it. Like when the end credits came up, I was like, "What the hell? Is this real?"
Yeah, I feel like
I thought it was going to go on for another 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought something interesting. Someone said this on Reddit, but they said that they think that this movie was about Tarantino and what's the dude that got arrested? The big time guy, Weinstein.
Okay.
So I guess Tarantino and Weinstein were really good friends before all this happened, and he was pretty much who made Tarantino's career. And so Brad Pitt is supposed to be Weinstein because he has that dark past, but he's still like brothers with this guy. And then at the end of the movie, it's kind of like they had to go their separate ways. That was kind of like Tarantino and Weinstein going separate ways. So I thought that was kind of pretty cool of that person to think that.
Also,
I could see it happening.
Talking about dark past, they glimpsed into the past with Brad Pitt's wife, and that was it. One time. So we don't actually know if
you
he did or
assume
didn't.
that he shot her right
Well,
there.
that was just confirming that he actually did murder her.
Yeah, like he had the thing pointed at her, and he just like didn't want to show that part, probably. Like he's thinking you're smart enough, the audience is smart enough to assume, okay, you know it's gonna happen.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just figured they were gonna go back and show like the full thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have mind seeing more about his past. 'Cause he was a pretty good character too.
And also, I thought it was pretty crazy. So Uma Thurman and him are really good friends. They actually dated a long time ago. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. But not only was Uma Thurman's daughter in it, the girl from Stranger Things. Did you notice that, Simon?
Yeah.
But also, the lady that yelled at him when he was fighting Bruce Lee, that came out screaming.
Oh, yeah.
That's Uma Thurman's stunt double, and she's like in all of Tarantino's movies.
Yeah.
Did you know about like Al Pacino and Leo DiCaprio are dating a mother-daughter
No.
In real life?
combo? And yeah, and Leo is the same age as the mom
MILF! MILF!
that Al Pacino's dating.
Wow. So wait, they're both dating someone younger then.
Yeah, like, and I think he's like engaged to the daughter, and she's like 24 or something. Like she's really young.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
don't think he really dates.
That was
He don't
another.
really date
I wonder if that's why Al Pacino was in it.
Well, I was gonna say another
Probably.
wasted role was Al Pacino's. Like he was in it, and I thought he was gonna like become part of Rick's life, or like his agent, or
Yeah,
you know,
he's just got him all the Italian spaghetti westerns.
he was there at the beginning, and then he was there towards the end, and then that was about it.
That's probably my biggest gripe is like all these things happen, but nothing connected or made sense. Whereas like Pulp Fiction, all these different things happen, but they're all connected.
Yeah.
But this just felt like random stuff happening and for no purpose. So it's kind of just like a glimpse in the life of, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to do, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it'd be in my top 5 Tarantino movies.
I'd say it's probably my 6th, 7th down there.
Yeah.
I'd say it's in my bottom.
I think I'll watch it again when it comes out, like digital or DVD. And maybe I'll like it a little bit better, not expecting so much, but
Yeah, I guess I didn't really have I didn't really have much expectations. I guess I didn't really know what to expect from it. So
Yeah.
I wasn't really super disappointed or anything. But
yeah, I also
it was
didn't.
definitely different, so I could see how people didn't like it.
I also didn't really know what it was about because I only really watched like one trailer because I knew I was going to see it, and I didn't want to spoil
Yeah.
anything. And I had seen, okay, it's going to be kind of about Charles Manson and Hollywood stuff like that, and it wasn't. So that's where it was a little disappointing. But as far as like Leo's story plot line, I thought that was great. I thought they could have done a lot more with it. Same with Cliff. Like I also thought that Cliff was going to get his break as like an actor or something in some way, or like him and Leo flip, because there was a lot of like opposites between those two in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of like subtle signs, like him driving the wrong way, and then like at the beginning, Rick was all dressed suit, and then he was like blue
In
jeans,
a t-shirt, and then Rick ordered a sweet like martini drink, and then he's drinking like a Bloody Mary.
So what if, let's just get deep here. What if Cliff was actually still Tyler Durden, but he was Rick Dalton's?
It's Fight Club 2.0.
Yep.
Once Upon a Time in Fight Club.
Yep. But it was cool to see those two like on screen together, two of the biggest actors.
I thought they did great. The
Yeah,
acting
I
was
like that
good.
a lot.
That was cool. And I thought they all did great acting wise. I just was really
Yeah,
disappointed
they were really good.
with
Like,
Margot Robbie.
I could see Leo winning some awards for that probably.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
too.
I thought he did great.
The part when she's like, "That was the greatest acting I've ever seen,"
Yeah.
but that was ruined in the trailer, of course.
Yeah.
But it was still a really good part.
It was. It reminded me of his 360 turn in Django, when he's like that. He's like
Yeah.
invites them into the house, and then they're at the table, and he goes crazy and slams the glass.
His old Ben. Hey! Lay your palm flat on that tabletop!
Like that's what it reminded me of, how he escalated the
And
anger.
you guys probably know about that, right? That wasn't planned,
Yeah, and he cut his hand.
and he just kept going. That's pretty awesome.
Fun fact. All right, Simon, what would you rank this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd probably give it. I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5.
Okay.
What about an Inglorious Hastert rating?
I don't even know this for scale.
Oh yeah, you have to refresh my memory on that.
It's easy. It's poop, or it's bronze, silver, gold, platinum. It's like based on watchability. Like I think platinum is like go to the movies right now, see it. Gold is like see this as soon as you can.
Or rent it as soon as.
No, it's like see this as soon as you can, And then silver's like you can wait.
I'd probably say like high silver, low gold, somewhere in there.
Like you could probably wait for it to come out on DVD.
Bronze is like
not-
watch on TV, don't rent, and then poop is like don't even waste your time.
Yeah. So high silver.
Yeah, I would definitely watch it. I'll definitely watch it again.
Yeah, I will too,
Yeah, I
but
don't know if it's like a must rush to the theater to see.
it's not.
Yeah, and like something about Tarantino movies is like you really don't watch for the story. It's more of a character and dialogue. And I told Ryan this.
Yeah.
And cinematography, like it's just a great film. He's a great filmmaker, but sometimes the story isn't worth a crap in his movies. But just watching for the character arcs and stuff is really good.
Yeah. All right, Brian, where are you at on it?
I'd probably give it a mid 6.5.
6.5. I think I'm gonna have to be right there in between both of you. I'd probably be under 7, probably like a 6.8, and then I'd probably give it a silver as well. It wasn't the best.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I mean, like you guys said, it's worth watching again. I think.
It's I feel like it's like a rainy day vibes type of movie. Like throw it on and it kind of just goes. And there's not like if you walk away, you're not really missing anything. There's not a huge plot hole if you miss 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I really thought that he was gonna die. I thought Cliff was gonna die at the end. I thought they were gonna torture him and shit, and it was gonna get weird.
Yeah. Lastly,
Something if I saw it on TV and it was like halfway through, I'd definitely watch the last half of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I was gonna say the alternate ending I thought was actually gonna happen was those guys were gonna murder Rick and his wife, and Cliff was gonna be like the last one standing, and then he was gonna get like framed for the murder basically, and then finally go to jail for the murder of his wife type thing.
Jesus, you went.
No,
dark,
I was just saying
bro.
because throughout the movie he hints at I've never been to jail, or like he's like I'm not looking to go back right now type anything like that.
Yeah.
Supposedly, like all those like people on the ranch were like sons and daughters of like super rich people.
Oh wow. I was gonna say that they were all like underage, right? Like everyone he killed was like
I think
teenagers.
they're all pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucking sad. I wish they would have showed them killing Charles Manson. Not to be sadistic, but it would have been.
In the theme of Tarantino, that's how it would have went
Tarantino
down. Is Charles Manson would have been the one that died.
Well, it is a Tarantino film, so.
I'm just saying that's why it didn't feel like it type of thing. Which,
well, if you want to learn more about Manson, I think the new season of Mindhunter's about him.
oh, nice, that's coming out soon.
And also,
I think so. Yeah.
my favorite scene was the flamethrower scene at the end.
Yeah,
And then they
The
talked
what?
about it. It was like,
when Rick pulled out the flamethrower.
Oh yeah, that was.
and then the guy asked him. He's like,
I noticed it on the. I think he went into that shed earlier, and I noticed the flamethrower sitting on the ground.
Yeah,
that was good. But
So
they
I
asked
definitely
him.
into that a little bit, I guess.
They asked him how the hippies are or something, and what did
Yeah.
he say?
he said, "Oh, I burn them."
Or no,
He's
he
like,
said
I burnt their asses, burn them to a crisp. And then he was like, he goes, how or is everyone okay? He goes, well, everyone but the damn hippies.
Yeah. And it was nice to see Emil Hirsch. I thought he would like quit acting, but he was in
That
it.
was an odd role too. I didn't.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him too.
Did you guys understand that? So like that dude, like Roman Polanski was okay with that dude, like and his wife getting together.
I guess I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
But you guys know
He's a
about
60s
Roman
man.
Polanski, right?
He's a creep.
Didn't he have like stuff with like young girls or something?
Yeah. So like some girl was acting on set and she was like under 16. Supposedly, he got accused of raping her. And instead of going to trial, he fled to, I think, Poland. Is that where he's from? And he's been there ever since. So he hasn't come back to America to go to trial.
I didn't know that.
So I thought that
I
was going to
like
be
out of the
part of it, too.
country when those murders happened. So
Yeah, and he was out of country when that happened. So I don't know if all that stuff occurred in the same.
So yeah, that would have been
but-
funny though because like Rick, he was trying to get a role in one of his movies, and he finally got invited up to the house. So maybe in his mind, he's like, "Here we go."
He's like,
I'm gonna get-
where's Roman at?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a good movie, and then he finds out Roman's been accused of rape, so he's not gonna get his good
He has to
movie.
stay in Poland forever.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Oh Jesus!
But yeah, that was a little dark. But that was a Tarantino film that was different than most.
I will agree. It's different than most.
But I mean, and he said he's probably done after that one too. He said he might make one more, but after that he's done.
Is this his 9th movie?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he's got one more. Isn't he doing some sort of like Star Trek movie or something?
He might be doing the next Star Trek. People are saying. That's what I heard.
Hopefully that doesn't count as his last one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see him do something maybe that he didn't write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would be.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping in, Simon. Your insight is always
Sure.
top notch on these movies. So Simon liked it. We kind of liked it. Brian hated it.
I didn't hate it, but it's not a movie I'd go to theaters to see
So
again.
I think this is a movie you got to see for yourself to really decide if you want to, if you like it or not. You can't just take our word for it. That's for sure.
Yep. Don't take our word for it, even though hopefully you've seen it by now because we had a lot of spoilers.
Yeah, we had a lot of time.
We had a lot of time. We had spoilers. So.
Well, Simon, until the draft, we will see you later.
If we don't see you tomorrow,
All right.
good morning, good
See you
evening,
in a
and good
couple
night.
weeks.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you later.
Later.
All right, bye.
Intros.
Wow, what a just an insightful guy, Simon.
That's what
Good.
they call him. They call him In Simon.
And Simon.
No, that was
No,
they
that'd
made
be
me
weird.
Cut this.
That'd be weird. Before you forget, that awesome intro you just saw at the beginning of this
Oh,
episode,
yes.
we would like to thank Josh Hurst for putting that together for us. It is awesome, and we appreciate everything
He
you've
is
done
great,
for us.
and I mean, I don't know if he wants me to say this. Maybe he does, but I mean, if you need anything done animation-wise or music or anything, he's a jack of all
It's
trades.
great. Josh Hurst Design, right?
Yes.
They're right
Yeah,
there
and
in the
we'll
gram.
post his Instagram right there too, and for his contact information.
Yeah, some amazing stuff. We appreciate everything.
Yep, and his band is awesome too, Young Medicine.
Yep. Check
They're
them
a
out.
Local KC band. Check them out. And yeah, I think that's it for this week. I'm pretty tired, so I'm sorry, but that movie was freaking long, and I almost fell asleep twice.
Okay, it wasn't that long. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay, with previews, it was 3 hours in that theater.
True. True. Yeah.
True.
Double true. All right, go check it out. If you're a big Tarantino fan, maybe you'll understand what we're saying and dislike it as much as we did. But a little disappointed.
And we'll bring some more energy next week.
I'm sure there's
Just
going to be
tired.
people telling us we don't know what we're talking about, but hey, maybe we don't. But that's how we feel.
As long as they hit that subscribe button, they can tell us anything they
Yeah.
want.
Hit that subscribe button and then leave a comment saying you hate us. All right, until next week, go watch some movies. We'll
Or
see
just
ya.
like chill or do whatever you want to do.
We'll see you.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bye.
One more time, got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate.